Hey, what's going on, guys? So, I'm gonna do my first commentary for the mock draft. So I'm gonna start with just doing an ESPN mock draft today.
Peter hit me in the nose with a football.
Get through the ad right quick.
Marsha, eat a Snickers.
Why?
You get a little hostile when you're hungry. Better? Better.
What?
Okay, so like I said, obviously I'm doing football today. I just wanted to start off with something simple. I'll be doing a combination of Yahoo and ESPN drafts. I actually haven't done my draft for my buy-in league yet, so I'm still doing mock drafts and still trying to perfect my draft strategy. I'll be doing commentary all the way through the draft. It might take a couple parts to get through, but yeah. So the NFL, I think, is just a few weeks out. I know college football starts this week. It's going into week 4 of the preseason right now, so I always try to make sure I do my draft after the preseason is over. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy that ends up drafting, the Jordy Nelsons or the Kelvin Benjamins of the world. So the season does start, looks like, a week from Thursday. Pittsburgh against New England. I'll also be doing a few basketball and hockey drafts. Those won't be on ESPN yet. Yahoo is the only one that has that open right now. I've already done a couple. I tried to do one commentary, but it didn't work. And the first one didn't work so well. So this should be my first one. Just in case you guys haven't done your draft yet and you're doing it on ESPN, obviously this is what the pre-draft ranks looks like. If you guys can't see the insider, that's what that looks like. I never really use the insider recommends. It doesn't really do much. Doesn't help you out a whole lot. Whenever I do get the first pick in the draft, though, I do kind of drop down the board a little bit. Normally I go with Jamal Charles. I'm not really a big guy, not really a big advocate for AP right now. Eddie Lacy would be another good pick for me. I just don't think Le'Veon Bell's worth taking first, since he's missing the first 2 games of the season. Maybe if you want to, what a lot of people are doing is handcuffing Le'Veon Bell and D'Angelo Williams. That's not a bad strategy to do. Looks like 2 people left the draft already. So let me go through, see if I can find a couple guys that I like going for pretty early. My whole thing with the running backs this year is I think their ranks are a little bit screwed up on ESPN. I normally trust their rankings pretty good, but if you guys are drafting, the guys I would stay away from are C.J. Anderson, DeMarco Murray, LaShawn McCoy, Mark Ingram, maybe Carlos Hyde, I'm not sure. I just don't think the 49ers offense is good enough for him to thrive. Jonathan Stewart, Joique Bell. Now, if you're looking for some depth guys, guys you can pick up maybe a little bit earlier than they're actually ranked on ESPN. Alfred Morris is a guy I always go for. I honestly think he could be a first-round running back. He was a good running back last year. Not a great season, but still 1,000 yards. What was it? Yeah, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Latavius Murray's looked really good in the preseason. I think he'll have a big year. Amir Abdul is another one that's pretty far down the board that you can probably get in the later rounds. It's definitely a good pickup, especially with Joique Bell injured. Doug Martin's also been having a pretty good preseason, so he might be a nice little depth pick to get. one of the guys took Brandon Cooks 3rd overall. I'm not much for taking Antonio Brown. I know that he's a good wide receiver, but I'm not much for taking a wide receiver in the first round. I guess if he slips to at like 10 or 12, sure. See if I can get Marshawn Lynch or Matt Forte. If not, I don't know who. Jamal Charles slipped all the way to 6. I think that was a nice little pickup for that guy. Alright, so get Matt Forte. So just off the subject of fantasy football right quick, I've obviously, if you guys do a lot, or if you guys pay attention to a few of my videos, this is tough. Is Aaron Rodgers already? Alright, one of my favorites to go and pick up is Aaron Rodgers. I'm thinking if, I don't know about that though. Jeremy Hill's already gone. Yeah, I'll take Aaron Rodgers. Just my thing for picking up a wide receiver in the first 2 rounds is I've always been a believer in finding wide receivers on the waiver wire. If you pay pretty close attention to the waiver wire, wide receivers are there every week. Obviously, it's hard to pick up a running back. If you end up with a mediocre quarterback, then it's kind of hard to recover from that too. But I'm assuming if you get Aaron Rodgers or Andrew Luck this year, you'll be just fine. So I normally try to get one of those too. Well, like I said, on the subject of fantasy football, most of the videos that I do are college football, but at the same time, I like to basically just do predictions and rankings for every professional sport. It's just something I like to do. Obviously, I don't really do any on camera for football, but I might do a little bit later in the year. If you guys are big into that, definitely let me know what your Super Bowl picks would be, or any I guess sleepers you got for this year for fantasy football. I'm always interested in hearing how people think different players are going to do if they have like solid methodology for like picking their sleepers. One player that I always try to stay away from in this is Odell. I don't think he's even close to being worth the 15th overall pick. I don't think you should be picking Odell ahead of like guys like Calvin Johnson, AJ Green, Randall Cobb, those sort of guys. I think Randall Cobb will have a big year, especially with Jordy Nelson going down now. I think this guy was taking all wide receivers. Yeah, Brandon Cooks, T.Y. Hilton, and Jordan Matthews. See if I can pick up Alfred Morris. So anyway, what I was talking about earlier, if you like to do any like predictions, anything like that, definitely let me know what like your Super Bowl picks are. If you got any teams you think will be good this year. Hope my Colts can finally break through the Super Bowl. See if they can finally get past the Patriots. where it starts getting a little bit more difficult. Already got my 2 running backs. See if I can pick up a wide receiver. That's where it starts getting a little bit thin at wide receiver. I'm not a big Mike Evans guy. Let's see if Jimmy Graham's still there. No. Dang, pretty low. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take Mike Evans. Could be a good year for Mike Evans. I'm not really sure. Hasn't really been a consistent preseason for Jameis Winston yet, so I don't know if they'll be able to hook up on a pretty consistent basis. I like DeAndre Hopkins. I think he'll be a good number 1 wide receiver, but I don't think he'll have a good season statistically until the Texans can find a good quarterback. There's a little section down in the mid-80s of the rankings. Martavis Bryant's a guy that looks like he'll be pretty good this year, and I think he has suspended 4 games now. He's a good late-round pickup. I don't know how good he'll be anymore, but the guys like Brashad Perriman, he could be good this year. Might be Joe Flacco's new favorite target. Devin Funchess could be pretty good this year since Kelvin Benjamin might down. He might be Cam Newton's prime target. Nelson Aguilar has been having a good preseason. I also think Devontae Adams could have a big year. Could kind of be the next Randall Cobb. Running backs really started flying off the board. The tricky part about waiting for guys like Doug Martin and Amir Abdullah is their stocks are pretty high right now, so a lot of people might try to snag them. I'd say in the first 10 rounds, so hard to tell. Hard to tell where you should pick them up if you're looking for any depth guys like that their stock is pretty high right now. You don't want to pick them too high. But you don't want to end up letting them slip. Arian Foster could be an interesting situation this year. Don't really know what it's going to look like, or don't really know what the running back situation is going to be looking like for the Texans, but their offense looks pretty brutal right now. Arian Foster is going to be missing at least a couple weeks, and quarterback situation doesn't look too good, whether it is Brian Hoyer or Ryan Mallett. I think their starter now is Alfred Blue. See who's still available. Amari Cooper could be a good pick. Really all depends on how Derek Carr plays this year. Devontae Adams was just picked. Let's see what's available at tight end. Alright, I'll go ahead and scoop up Keenan Allen. Really haven't had a good selection of wide receivers yet. I don't think you should reach for someone like Andre Johnson this early. But I'm also not. I don't know. I haven't really been a firm believer in ever picking a Chargers wide receiver. Alright. Really thin at running back. Might go ahead and scoop up Andre. I like the way this team's looking right now. I think this is going to be a weird year for wide receivers. Not a whole lot of people have a whole lot of like sure sleepers. I think that a few guys could creep into the picture, especially with the amount of big wide receiver injuries in the preseason. The tight end's I think this is the thinnest I've ever seen the tight end position before. It's hard to tell whether you should wait to maybe get a guy like Jason Witten, Jordan Cameron, or Zach Ertz, or just hope that someone emerges off in the later rounds like Josh Hill or Kyle Rudolph. I think one of the more interesting guys this year is Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Athletic tight end, just didn't really have a good quarterback to throw to him last year. See if maybe Eric Ebron could also break through this year. Huge expectations, didn't really do anything last year. A lot of people are finally hopping on the Ryan Tannehill bandwagon. I can say it right. I don't know if this will be the year that Ryan Tannehill breaks out. Just the defenses in the AFC West or in the AFC East got so much better. Miami got better. I mean, obviously that's his own defense, but still, Buffalo got better. New England did lose a little bit at corner, but I think the Jets got better too. I think Tom Brady would be a good quarterback pickup if you could maybe pick him up with like a Phillip Rivers or a Matthew Stafford. Ooh, Doug Martin. Dang it. Doug Martin was just taken. I'm thinking about doing a live commentary for my actual draft. I think that'd be a little bit more authentic since it's actually a team that I'm going to be sticking with for the entire year. I'm going to reach a little bit here and go for Amir Abdullah. It's starting to really look thin at every position, so see if I can pick up a tight end. Scoop up Jason Witten. See what the other teams look like. Looks pretty good. I think Joseph Randle could have a big year. Just the thing is, looks like the Cowboys are going to be doing running back by committee. That's even though he drafted all wide receivers to start, drafted Brandon Cooks with the 3rd overall pick. The team honestly looks pretty good. That's an injury-prone team. If Jonathan Stewart could finally stay healthy for an entire year, then I would trust him to be drafted in maybe the 4th or 5th round, but I don't think he's really been able to, or how long has he been in the league now? Like 8 years. Never really been able to see him be healthy on a consistent basis, maybe besides two of those years. Alright, what's up, guys? Lost connection there for a little bit. Probably gonna only do like maybe the first 100 picks. going to go ahead and fill out a couple more of my positions. Pretty much after like the 12th round, everyone just goes on auto pick, so doesn't really do a whole lot. Let me see if I can find you guys a couple of the guys that I think are going to be good sleepers this year. Brashad Perriman's definitely one of them. A lot of people are comparing him to Torrey Smith. Running back gets pretty interesting because Nile Davis, I think, is a guy that if Jamal Charles goes down, I think he's a top 10 guy, no doubt, just with the amount of production he's going to get in that Chiefs offense. But, I don't know. Jamal Charles has been one of the more consistent backs the last couple of years. And I think Alfred Blue could, I'm not going to say he's going to be like what Arian Foster did like 5-6 years ago, but I think Alfred Blue could have a big couple weeks because he's kind of the best player in that offense right now, maybe outside of DeAndre Hopkins. Alright, I'll do my next 2 picks. Let's stay away from Monty Ball. I think he's on the waiver. He's close to being on the waiver wire. I think he might be cut this year. See if I can find a backup quarterback. Now, the thing with quarterbacks this year is that it's a really deep position, so while I did pick up a quarterback very early, I also like the depth that I have at pretty much every position. I think I got good wide receivers, 2 good running backs, a little bit of depth at running back too. If you can scoop up Aaron Rodgers past, I'd say maybe like the 12th pick, I'd go ahead and do it. But you see the quarterback depth that is left in the 11th round, so someone probably is going to get Tony Romo in this round though. Maybe not. But yeah, like I said, Cam Newton was scooped up with the 99th pick. I can go down the list. I'd even say down to like Teddy Bridgewater. I think Teddy Bridgewater could have a big year. If you're playing in this is a 10-man draft, so quarterback's going to be a little bit more plentiful. But if you're in like a 12, 14-man league, I would wait for a quarterback. Might be able to get like I'll go ahead and scoop up Tannehill. Yeah, you can get Tannehill in the late 12th round. That's a pretty good pickup. I was 1 pick away from getting Tony Romo, 3-4 picks away from getting Tom Brady. So if you're in a 10-man league, though, there's going to be pretty much every team's going to have a good quarterback. So I'd go ahead and scoop up maybe like an Andrew Luck or an Aaron Rodgers. Alright, so I think Lorenzo Taliaferro is definitely a good guy to pick later in the draft, a good depth pick. See if there's anyone down here. Oh, yeah. So a lot of people have kind of forgot about him, but I think Eddie Royal's a good pickup. Chicago with, pretty much all they got left is Alshon Jeffrey, so Brandon Marshall was dished out in the offseason, so I think Eddie Royal could have a big year. I think he'll be returning also, so could be a nice little nice flex spot some weeks or something. Maybe get you a few points from a touchdown or a punt return. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys I'll go through my team right quick. Got Aaron Rodgers, Matt Forte, Alfred Morris, Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, Jason Witten, Andre Johnson, Amir Abdullah, Brashad Perriman, Alfred Blue, Ryan Tannehill, and Eddie Royal. So if I can give you guys 2 last pieces of advice, is just don't draft a kicker until the last round. And don't take a defense before you've got your... I'd say if there's less than 2, or if there's more than 2 bench spots open, don't take a kicker, or defense and special teams for that matter. It's pretty common knowledge, but yeah, so pretty much it.